Hey guys, Kevin Shaw here, Editor-in-Chief of Mopar Connection Magazine. Wanted to do something a little different today. Obviously, I'm currently on the road. I'm on my way up to Michigan, but that's not what today's video is about. We're actually going to insert a couple little clips going over some updates on some projects just to kind of catch you up as to what we're working on in the home garage. First and foremost, I wanted to share a quick update. It's a little bit of a walk around on Project ZomBEE. Now, Project ZomBEE is just on the back burner over at Finale Speed, as those guys really thrashed this last month and a half to get the first carbon fiber Hellcat powered 70 Charger up and ready for the Barrett-Jackson auction where it debuted, and for the customer who bought the very first one. That's serial number 0001. And that car is being delivered in Florida, I think about a week from now as of this recording. So that's pretty exciting. But while they were getting that car ready, I wanted to do a little bit of a walk around on what makes a 70 Super Bee kind of problematic when it comes to a project car. If you were doing a 69, especially a 69 or a 68, it'd be a little easier because, quite frankly, the tail panels, the trunk, and of course the quarter panels are shared between 68 and 69. Not so for 70. 70, there were some significant changes that are going to require a little bit of extra metal work for ZomBEE to be put back together again. So I'm going to take a second and we're going to jump over to that clip as we do a little bit of a walk around on ZomBEE. Obviously, the problem with the 70 is that a 70 had unique quarters and fenders and a hood that made it stand out from the 68 and 69s. So in grafting a 69 quarter to a 70, we're going to have to make quite a few changes to get this to blend in. We're going to actually marry it to an old existing piece of the 70 quarter, as well as changing out the scallop here in the quarter. And that's just going to take some burning and customization. Obviously, we got to straighten out the fenders and the lower valence. Those got some damage there, and we got some rot down in here, the usual stuff. But apart from that, we should be in good shape moving forward. What a chore. I think I'll be coming out in a month or so for a big teardown video where they just start stripping the bee down to nothing and start making sense of what we got. But until then, we're looking at a Frankenstein. So obviously there's still a lot of work that needs to be done in order to get our ZomBEE 70 Super Bee back as a complete roller, and we're going to be documenting a lot of that here, but I just wanted to give you a little bit of a taste of what we're looking at, because there is a lot of work that's left on the table. Next, I wanted to show a little bit of progress that we've made on our 505 stroker motor that we're getting ready to dyno over at Tommy's Auto and Machine, who we showed in a previous video that I'll link up at the top. That engine is getting just finalized. We definitely had to update to the PRW USA vented valve covers, because first, there was no place to fill the oil. Second of all, we definitely need to have that engine be able to breathe, and that's why we had to change them out to the PRWs from the previous trick flow cast valve covers that we had. That engine we did choose to primer and paint completely. I did like the idea of a uniform orange engine. I didn't want all the different colors on it. Now, as for the final performance of that engine, we did show you in the build that the cam card asked for a 1.7-to-1 rocker. We are running a 1.5-to-1 rocker, so we are definitely going to be making a little bit less than the full potential of the factory cam card. So that makes our expectations a little bit closer to less than 600 horsepower. If we're making less than 600 horsepower, I'm pretty much consigned to put that engine in Marsha. And that might make it a little bit more rowdy than, say, our Torque Flight was built for. But Jim's pretty sure that as we built that Torque Flight, it can hold up to 600 horse. So depending on the final numbers that we get on the dyno, we just might be putting that engine in Marsha. I don't think the single plane manifold's gonna fit underneath the stock hood. I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it won't. And if that's the case, we'll be dropping an L. Brock dual plane air gap on it. We'll lose a little bit of top end, but we'll definitely gain a little bit of torque. And considering it's such a heavy car, we just might be making the perfect power for that big old barge to go around the closed course and just be a really good street burner. But for right now, I'll cut to the clip of me painting the engine and getting it ready for the dyno. Today we're doing something really quick, just doing a little bit of final paint and dress up on our 505 cubic inch stroker motor. We got to get this guy ready for the dyno. We've been talking about getting it to the dyno for a few months now. Thankfully they've been a little busy, so I don't feel so bad. But in getting it in final prep, I wanted it painted, I wanted it cleaned up, wanted to make sure it doesn't leak, seal everything up, just little stuff. I'm a little meticulous. I know a lot of you guys are too. As a lot of you guys might have already seen from our previous video that we did for Hemi Day, we already shot the whole engine in the 2-part Eastwood epoxy primer. Unfortunately, we got caught in a little bit of a rainstorm, and that screwed up a little bit of our finish. And so I had to go back in and touch up and sand down some of the areas. And then thankfully I had another can of the spray version of that same epoxy primer. Shot the engine yesterday, and now what I'm going to do is use a little bit of rattle can just as a dusting so that I can get into some of the areas. And then I also have a quart of the Eastwood color 2-part epoxy, and that is going to be the final pass that gets all of our final color on. You guys might think I'm a little crazy and using a little bit of the spray bomb stuff, but because I only have so much of the Eastwood paint, I wanted to put down just a thin layer, a kind of a primary layer of rattle can, so that I don't have to use all of my Eastwood paint just to get a nice even layer. So we're gonna start with this. It's probably not ideal, but I've seen worse, and you could do a lot worse than what we're doing today, and I'm just gonna go with it. So hopefully you guys are all right with it. I like using the pistol attachment. Makes things a little easier, and you get a little bit more of a uniform spray because you're not getting your finger worn out. And you get the same nice uniform pressure. Keeps you from getting uneven painting. Again, I'm just trying to dust the engine. I'm not trying to get a final coat here at all. This kind of gives me a very light base color to paint over. You know, it's not thick enough to have any runs. I'm doing just dusting. right, we've got our paint gun. We've got our Eastwood high temp ceramic engine paint with our urethane activator. I think I misspoke when I said epoxy. Obviously I meant urethane. Apologize for you guys in the comments who are already typing up going, Kevin doesn't know what he's talking about. I usually don't. All right, so let's get mixing some paint. Actually, let's shake the heck out of it first. Okay. Good. I already had measured it out, so we're going to be good there. And now to start mixing. Well, here goes nothing. Made a mess. There we go. We have our Eastwood paint ready to go. That's gonna take hours, if not a whole day, because I laid that on like spackle. I know that's overkill, but we'll see how it turns out. All right, guys, I know this one was a little different as it was a little bit of a clip show, but as I am on the road and driving up to Michigan, I wanted to make sure that we had a video for you guys that we put out every week. I didn't want to be late. I like being on time and delivering, so the least I could do was show you a little bit of progress on some projects that we got going on. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, why don't you give this video a like, maybe leave a comment, and share with your friends. They'll help us grow the channel. But more importantly, if you want more awesome Mopar content, please go visit us over at www.moparconnectionmagazine.com, where new articles are written and published every single day, Monday through Friday, entirely subscription free to you. There's no passwords, there's no downloads, there's nothing that you need on your phone. The magazine is free to you, it's just online. So go check it out today. We'd love to see you there. We'll see you soon.